Yeah, 150, maybe 200, even 250 this year.
What?
Attention. Things are happening in cryptocurrency that most people do not know about. This is your last chance to become a millionaire with crypto in 2025. I fully expect Bitcoin's price to be a lot closer to this price range as we continue to get closer and closer into end of year. We are grinding up and eventually this is going to pop. Now, last chance. I know it's kind of a meme on YouTube, but let's take a look back at my history saying that. I told you last chance here. I told you last chance here. I told you last chance here. And understand, of course, it didn't just go straight up the next day, but after a certain point, the price never went that low again. I wish I could buy Bitcoin here, or here. I wish I could buy altcoins anywhere over here. Every single cycle, the crypto market rhymes. I've been in crypto for 7+ years now. Most crypto channels on YouTube don't know what they're talking about. I do, so make sure you subscribe. If you know somebody who's underinvested in crypto, you might want to send them today's video and let them know, hey, we are in the period where this is your last chance before things start really heating up. I will also be sharing with you my top 5 altcoins. Often I bring on other people to share what they're bullish on. So today I'll be giving you my top 5 altcoins. Smash the like button if you appreciate videos like this and stay tuned. Watch today's whole video. Take a look at what's happening in this space today. Vitalik Buterin is back in full force working on Ethereum. Says Ethereum's L1 will scale by 10x by 2026.
My view is generally I think we should scale L1 by about 10x over the next year and a bit.
Elon Musk announces a new Bitcoin-like encrypted X chat. He's tweeting about Bitcoin. Wall Street is now fully in on Bitcoin. They're about to be fully in on crypto as Ethereum and Solana and staking ETFs in general move closer to US listings. This is huge. You know, it's amazing how bearish people are considering everything that's happening, and the fact that Bitcoin is consolidating above 100K. Any dip into the 90s is a dip worth buying, in my opinion, because we're in such an interesting time in the market where we've broken above last cycle's all-time highs. Clearly, we've cleared last cycle's all-time highs, and yet everybody's wondering, well, what's Bitcoin going to do next? Is it going to fall? Is it going to pump? By the way, guys, I know many people in our audience are traders. Some do it full time, some do it casually. A great way to make money in the market, whether it goes up or down, is by trading. Bitchunex is a great exchange we're partnered with. No KYC. Anybody can do this. $8,000+ in trading bonuses just if you use the code Altcoin Daily when you sign up. But in addition to that, there is a $12,000 prize tournament going on right now. You can win $12,000 in prizes and VIP 3 status for 1 month. I'm going to leave a link to this down below. You have 14 days to participate in this prize tournament right now. Somebody is going to win $12,000 or up to $12,000. It could be you. So feel free to participate in this. Back to the video. Guys, take note on how bearish and foolish everybody is. You'll be able to see in my comment section in this video just how bearish and skeptical everybody is. When you turn on CNBC, there are so many bears these days. But just take a look at what happens when Bitcoin breaks all-time highs every other cycle. Historically speaking, when Bitcoin breaks above last cycle's all-time highs, it runs for months. It runs into the end of year. We're still mid-2025. We still have at least 7 more months this year. And by the way, there's reason to think that Bitcoin just keeps going into 2026 and beyond. Seriously, there's reason to think that Bitcoin just keeps running into 2026 and beyond. Of course, there'll be months of consolidation, of course, but the point is the 4-year cycle as we know it, where, you'd expect in 2026 a 3-year bear market to start, there's a lot of reason to think that's not happening anymore. So let's talk about this. Tom Lee is one expert analyst I really respect. I really appreciate him sharing his investors' thesis in this clip. See, I've been following this guy for years. This is one of his best clips on Bitcoin yet. Just take a look at what he said today. This clip is from today about Bitcoin's price following liquidity. Even CNBC host Joe Kernan, who understands Bitcoin, who understands that Tom Lee is bullish on Bitcoin, he is shocked by Tom Lee's price forecast and thesis in this video. Understand that this is very likely how the rest of the year plays out, and even better, Tom Lee backs up his price forecast with sound reasoning, and it is the reasoning why Bitcoin's price is going a lot higher that I really like about this clip. So watch this, and then we'll talk about how you can take advantage of all this and become a millionaire in crypto. Smash the like button, listen to this.
What's Bitcoin? What is it moving with? Just risk assets at this point? It got back to an all-time high, which you were forecasting as well. But now I think, what are we, 104 this morning? So it's pulled back.
Yeah, I think it's consolidating. It makes sense. Bitcoin is responding to global liquidity, which is moving up, and I think anticipating a dovish Fed next year. So that's a tailwind for Bitcoin. But, Bitwise has a great stat. 95% of all Bitcoin's been mined, but 95% of the world doesn't own Bitcoin. So I just think that there's still a huge demand versus supply imbalance, meaning there's a lot more potential buyers of Bitcoin over the next 10 years. And so I think there's a lot of upside into year end.
Into your 150 target?
150, maybe 200, even 250 this year.
What? 150 to 200 to even 250. And what's you don't have a terminal price on that, do you?
Well, it's, I think at a minimum it should have the same network value as gold. Mm-hmm. And if you look at above ground gold, it's probably 23 trillion. So that would be, 1.2 million for Bitcoin. But I think Bitcoin is more valuable than gold. So, Bitcoin could be 2 million, 3 million long term. Even higher. Okay.
Thank you. And we're talking years, obviously, but 95% mined. I don't think the last one is mined till 2150 or something.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder.
Yeah, depending on what decimal you want to use, it's probably 2040 or something. But but it's if you're having something forever, it'll always.
So what's your terminal value?
That's what we just said.
The final.
He said 2.5 million.
2.5 million at the end.
Yeah.
Or maybe higher.
Or maybe even higher.
I didn't appreciate that point.
Yeah, it could.
Listen, if you understand why hard assets go up over time, you'll understand what's about to happen with Bitcoin, especially after certain things in the US begin to happen. The big beautiful bill gets passed, the Fed starts cutting, stablecoin and market structure bill being passed, just to name a few. Grant Cardone made his fortune investing in hard assets. Yes, he sells courses too, but he's almost a billionaire because of real estate and hard asset investments. So listen to him so casually give his price forecast here and understands he's done a lot of research on this.
I think before the end of this year, we see 250. We touch 250, and then it'll pull back to the 140s.
Yeah, and that's going to be the craziest pullback. Bitcoin pulling back to 100.
It'll be insane. But, I think we see $500,000 Bitcoin in the next 2 to 3 years.
I agree. Grant, truly appreciate you.
So, yes, this is one of your last chances, maybe even the last chance to become a millionaire in 2025 easily with cryptocurrency. The fact is, most people will be buying in up here. You will be smart to buy in when the sentiment is so bearish and we're in a consolidation period. Not financial advice, of course, but this is what I do to accomplish millionaire status this year, or ASAP. First of all, do not fade Bitcoin. That's a common mistake I see so many people making in cryptocurrency, fading Bitcoin. You want to keep increasing your Bitcoin stack. I'd take profits heavy into Bitcoin up until Bitcoin hits about 120K, 150K. Then you don't stop taking profits. I'm just talking about you can still go heavy taking profits into Bitcoin, in my opinion. Besides that, look for altcoins that are gaining that same level of adoption, meaning they'll have similar levels of capital entering into the demand for the asset, and the altcoins that are hitting big narratives in general. Not every altcoin will pump. Look for ones that are actually doing big things. So when it comes to new narratives that are about to hit, think about it like this. The number one thing that I see Wall Street people saying about Bitcoin, or high net worth people, institutional type people saying about Bitcoin, the common critique, which is actually the same thing they've said about gold for years, is that Bitcoin doesn't produce any dividends. We like dividends. Well, guess what? Ethereum and Solana are about to be loved by Wall Street because their dividend-like staking feature is just about to hit. So look for tokens like this. Look for tokens that break through into that institutional adoption-like narrative, like Chainlink. It's not like Swift is maybe working with Chainlink. Swift is the largest financial messaging system on the planet. All the institutions use Swift. Swift is definitely using Chainlinks. Chainlink's story is not over. A lot of people will say, just invest in the next Solana, which is, a lot of people say, SWI. I want to find the next SWI, in fact. I mean, I like SWI, but maybe the next SWI is a Supra or an Injective. For an infrastructure type play, maybe the next Binance, I'd look for tokens like Swissborg. For AI, I like Human Hearts token. This is AI with a human touch built for humans. For Ethereum Layer 2, I like Koti. And just make sure you have a plan to take profits. Scale out just like you scaled in. Have a plan to take profits. Take profits and you'll never be burned. Most importantly, there will come a time when this market turns for maybe not a 3-year bear market, but a heavy consolidation period, and you don't want to be caught buying the top when the next 6 months are just going to be a chop consolidation. So make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and watch every day, because we're going to do our best to tell you when that quote unquote top happens. See you tomorrow, my friends.